Some of the strongest Pokemon trainers in the Pokemon universe use Dragon-type Pokemon. So I have 100 days to catch and build the strongest Dragon-type team. However, it's not just me. Every Pokemon trainer needs a rival, and that is going to be Wilson. For this video, I want to catch a shiny Legend Dragon Pokemon, create a Fusion Dragon Pokemon, and obtain a Paradox Form Dragon-type. This video is on the Smash MC server where you can play with these custom fusions and Paradox Pokemon with me. Now, let's begin our journey to become the strongest Dragon-type trainer around. First big choice we had to make in this video was what starter Pokemon we would choose, and I'm going with Bagon as is my favorite pseudo-legendary Pokemon. Me and Wilson then decided that we were going to have a battle here, and Wilson couldn't believe it when I had Dragon Breath, so I ended up one-shotting his Dreepy, and the battle was over in one hit. We then did /kit Discord, and I ended up getting a free shiny. Unfortunately though, it wasn't a Dragon type, and neither of us could use the Pokemon we got in these free shinies. Wilson then found this guy who was stuck in the ground. Wait, he's not stuck, he's... Oh no. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that there. I ended up EV training my Bagon all the way up, so it was max EV, so it needs to be, and leveled it up a little bit. But in this video, I didn't want to just get a level 100 Pokemon straight away. So what I had to do was catch 6 Pokemon before I could get any of them to level 100. So I needed a full team before anything. The first Dragon-type Pokemon I actually ended up capturing in the wild was a Jangmo. I didn't know if I used this on my final team, but Jangmo is still an awesome Pokemon. If you guys are also happy seeing me back uploading, make sure you hit that subscribe button as it means a lot to me and will make me want to make videos even more for you. I ended up getting this Master Ball where I got an Assault Vest. But then Wilson came over and he showed me that he got a Paradox Pokemon.
Bye-bye.
How has he got that already? Right, he got a Pheromosa, this guy wanted it, traded his Depth Sphere for it. How was that fair? Wilson already has one of the strongest Pokemon in the game on day 4. I have my work cut out for me on this video now. The next Pokemon I ended up capturing was a Dino, which is another pseudo-legendary Dragon-type Pokemon, which is amazing. But again, I need stronger Pokemon if I'm going to be able to defeat Wilson with this Paradox Pokemon. Trapinch is good, but there's always a stronger ground dragon Pokemon in Garchomp. Luckily, I remember there was a Battle Pass, and if I get high enough on the Battle Pass, I could get some Lucky Blocks, which could give me some insane Pokemon. I also found this Wild Delphox, which I just thought was really cool. But I wanted to get the new pseudo-legendary Pokemon, Bridgebax, as it evolves into Baxcalibur with an awesome ability. With this ability, Wilson wouldn't be able to use any Fire-type moves on me without upping my attack. I ended up going to Ultra Space for a bit, as there was some stronger Pokemon here that I wanted to try and find, and I actually evolved my Bagon into a Shelgon here. I now had to go find the rest of my team, and I ended up spending from days 9 to 12 searching for just one Pokemon, that being an Execute. And I couldn't believe that I could have just gone to Lidl to get them for £1 basically. But no, I ended up searching the jungle for 3 days. Great. Cheers, Execute. Anyways, now that was done, Wilson showed me he had a Lucky Block and he ended up upgrading it. So this would be a guaranteed shiny Pokemon. But not only that, I'm going to let the whole thing play out. As he upgraded it again, and this meant he would get a guaranteed legendary Pokemon. What? So was there a chance of getting a legendary Dragon Pokemon? Reshiram, Zekrom, Rayquaza, anything. This could go horribly wrong. I couldn't believe it. If Wilson ended up getting a legendary Dragon Pokemon, I don't know what I'd do with him having that. And also the Depth Sphere Paradox Dragapult. I don't know what I would do. Wilson ended up placing it down. And oh my god, it's upgraded again. It upgraded again. This is now a shiny legendary. If it's a Dragon Pokemon, I swear to god. Yes, thank you. Yes. Oh my god, if Wilson had got a shiny dragon legendary, I don't know what I would do with myself. Time to go back to my main job, and that was catching the Frigibax, which meant that I had now 6 Pokemon in my team, which meant I could actually go and level them now, which is amazing. I started by EV training them all up, and then I went down to the level grinder and leveled them all up, and this was around level 55 to 60, as that's where most of the evolutions happened, which was really good. And me and Wilson ended up finding these treasures as well around the corner. And there were quite a few of these, and these treasures would give you rewards, and if you completed all the treasures, you would get a massive reward at the end. For that though, I ended up catching another dragon type Pokemon, that being a Turtonair, and we also found a new place to locate. But while we were locating here, we also ended up finding a shiny Pokemon. This guy's luck is ridiculous on these 100 days. Anyways, we wanted to base in this location, which was really good as it was a real dragon area, as it was in the hills and everything, and just felt right to us. After this, we decided to go on the treasure hunt, and these treasures were pretty good. They'd give you lots of coins, and also some of them would even give you lucky blocks. And with these lucky blocks, we could get some amazing Pokemon in them. We were on treasure number 22 out of 25. The server decided to have a reset, which would fix the lag. But with the server resetting, it would actually do a time skip backwards for us. But we already had the rewards from the treasures. So this would actually mean that we would get double the rewards from the treasures, which meant double the lucky blocks, double the money, double everything. As you can see, we went back and it said second treasure, and we still had all the old rewards. So we could go back and get double everything, which is amazing. But we decided to make a little challenge out of this as well. The winner who got the most Dragon type Pokemon from all their random Pokemon papers and also their lucky blocks would get a fusion key, which meant they could fuse 2 Pokemon together. Now, with these random Pokemon papers, you get anything from a Meganium all the way to a legendary Mewtwo. Unfortunately, I didn't get any Dragon type Pokemon, but I got some really strong Pokemon like Scolipede, Togekiss, and different Pokemon like that. But the main event was coming up now. We had specific Pokemon papers and also some lucky blocks. For the first specific Pokemon paper, I end up going for Hisuian Goodra, as it's just Goodra, slap a steel type on it, and bang, you've got yourself a Hisuian Goodra. For the second Pokemon, I brought back an old friend.
No! La la la!
That's right, Dracovish is back. Recall to my first ever video. Now, I also had another lucky block through the battle pass, which was amazing. My first lucky block though. Okay, second lucky block. Okay. Third one, finally, upgrade. And I ended up getting another upgrade after that one as well, but nothing else too interesting. I ended up getting a shiny Machamp, which was pretty cool. And after the shiny Machamp was a Houndoom. Still no Dragon types though. 2 more chances. And I got an upgrade to a legendary Pokemon, which is amazing. A rare lucky block. Insane. My final one, though, was only a Zubat, which is unfortunate. It all came down to this, though. I had to get a Dragon-type legendary Pokemon to win the challenge. Wilson had no Dragon-type Pokemon. I had no Dragon-type Pokemon. It came down to this. I beg, please. Yes! Giratina. Thank you. Oh, my God. This not only meant I now had a legendary Dragon-type Pokemon in Giratina, but I also had a fusion key. And Giratina has quite a few fusion Pokemon in this game of Pixelmon. It was time for my and Wilson's second rival bout. And this one, there's a lot of just one-hit KOs as we are just Dragon types. And it came down to both Excaliburs, and unfortunately Wilson ended up defeating me. So he got 5 cone lucky blocks. But remember, I have that fusion key, which is amazing. He didn't get anything too amazing apart from a Scrub and a Wireless, but I wanted to go out and capture myself now a Larvitar. And you might be thinking, Larvitar? Tyranitar evolves and it's a dark rock type. However, if you add Giratina into this with a fusion key, I'll go and show you what this makes. Now, this will be amazing. It's my first fusion Pokemon and we are going to create Gorinatar. And with this fusion, we now have an amazing Pokemon, a legendary fusion Pokemon, which is insane. And if this doesn't deserve a subscribe, I don't know what does. Now, with Gorinatar on our team, we need to go and EV train him, as well as our other Pokemon, like our Hisuian Goodra. Before that, we evolved to Execute into our Alolan Exeggutor, and we finished off EV training our Pokemon, and then we went to the gyms. Now, these gym leaders aren't too tough, as they level up and their Pokemon aren't that great, like a Voltorb, Chargebug. Quite an easy first gym. The second gym again had a Bonsai, and it wasn't really the best gym, Roggenrollers. Obviously meant for lower level teams. But the third gym was a little bit tougher with the Thwackey, but again, quite an easy defeat. And that's 3 gyms down for us. Then they go on to the Steel Gym, and this guy now has a Stellar Stealer. It goes from 0 to 100 real quick. I couldn't defeat it the first time, so I'd have to come back to it. I spent some time in the boss tower as I wanted to get some battle items to make the gyms a little bit easier. I'd also get some other items like some Firestones. I came back and was actually able to defeat the Steel Gym, which is amazing, and it gave me a Life Orb and also a Twist Band for defeating it. I went to the Psychic Gym and Gallade, Victini. Okay, these gyms are no joke now. And I ended up losing this gym battle. It was now time to work on the base, and for this, I wanted to create us a massive battle area. Instead of just having these two pillars, me and Wilson wanted to make an actual arena for us to battle in. So we needed to clear out all the stone, and then we were going to build up from there. But I then wanted to go level a bit more, and I ended up getting my Granita all the way to level 89. Now, with these levels, this meant that I could actually take on some harder Pokemon. I was actually able to defeat the Garchomps in level 80, one shot. I also began doing this bingo card, as I wanted to see what would happen if I actually completed it. But before that, there was a tournament. And this was just a random Pokemon tournament, so anything could happen in it. I ended up going into my first battle, and these battles were no joke at all. There was this guy with a Powdon. His Vileplume was really tough as well, but luckily my Ninjask, the speed boost, was really good. And I was actually able to take out the Vileplume, thanks to Aerobatics, and then get the speed boost up. He then brought Hippowdon back out, and I predicted the Toxic and decided that I would switch back in to Virizion, as I had a Lumberry, and this would then prevent the poison, meaning I took the Toxic, ate the Lumberry, and would lose the poison. I then decided that I would set up my Sword Stance, predicting that he would switch out of Hippowdon, but he actually went for another Toxic, which was not good for me. I did end up taking it out with the Leaf Blade, but then it came out a Giratina, what I just got from a Lucky Block. I decided just to get as much chip damage in as possible and went for the Stone Edge, and I was just going to sack off Virizion from this point. But I lived a Hex, which meant I could get another Stone Edge off before Virizion ended up going down. Mamoswine came out and ended up getting Toxic by the Giratina. I didn't think it was faster, but I ended up taking it out with Ice Cool Crash. Audino came out and I ended up getting my Galarian Zapdos out to close combat and take it out in one hit. But Dialga ended up taking out Galarian Zapdos, but luckily Alakazam was faster and Focus Blasted it with the Choice Specs to take it out. It was then down to Solrock, my Aegislash, and also Ninjask. And he ended up Morning Sun stalling Aegislash until the Earthquake was able to take him out. But with just Ninjask left, I had the speed and the Leech Life, which would win me the first battle and mean that I would progress to the second round. I made a switch for Alakazam and got Moody Glalie instead. So this meant my team was a little bit different, but I started with the Glalie against his Stoutland. But neither was good for us, and it came out that it was Aegislash against a Drifblim with an Iron Head. And it got the Strength Staff off, which would have ruined me if Aegislash didn't get a clutch crit hit. It was then out with a Belly Drum Slurpuff, but even then, there was no damage on Aegislash, and it took it out with an Iron Head, a true MVP right now. So the Persephone was next, but I got it pretty low, and with the Priority Ice Shard, I was able to take it out. And I lived a Braviary attack, and with a Life Orb Icicle Crash, took out the Braviary. And I won against his Naganadel, which meant it was time for the semi-finals. But a message came up, saying that I was too good, and I got a free pass into the final. Guess I'm just the best, I should get the trophy early, eh?
No.
Of course. This was the final. I would have it no other way. Let's go. Wilson got the Stealth Rocks up, and I was able to set up a substitute. But I got a really bad Moody drop, which meant my Freeze Drive was going to be weaker. Wilson then got Obstagoon out, and another special attack drop, which meant I had to go for Earthquake. Wilson ended up dropping my sub with his knockoff, where I got a bit more chip damage in. But with that Guts Obstagoon, it was a massive problem. I protected, hoping for a good Moody increase, but it loved increasing my special defense, and the close combat took me out on the next turn. I switched to Ninjask, and the Stealth Rocks did so much, but luckily Leech Life took out the Obstagoon and I got the speed boost. With this speed boost came out Pheromosa, but I was able to outspeed it, get the acrobatics, but it lived with a Focus Sash, and it ended up taking out Ninjask. I brought Mamoswine out and hit the Priority Ice Shard to take out the Pheromosa. But then an even bigger problem appeared, this Primarina. It took out Mamoswine, and my only counter was Virizion, but it was also weak to the Fairy type that Primarina held. I didn't expect Wilson to switch here, but he switched into an Eternatus and it ate the Leaf Blade. My only chance was to switch to Aegislash, hoping for the Poison move. And luckily it happened, but it fell to the Flamethrowers that Eternatus had, and now I felt Wilson had control of the battle. Zapdos was so close to taking out the Eternatus. It lived a Brave Bird, but Zapdos also lived a Dynamax Cannon. This meant I was able to take out the Eternatus, Wilson then Bryosolrock, which meant I switched to Virizion and took the Will-O-Wisp with the Lumberry. I tried hoping Leaf Blade would be able to take it out, but it lived and the Will-O-Wisp connected. I decided that there was too much damage Wilson had done, but he couldn't do a lot to me. So I decided to set up a Sword Stance as he Morning Sun. I then did another Sword Stance as Earthquake did nothing, but the Leaf Blade still just wasn't enough against the Solrock. So I had to take another hit, but also felt it was too late in the battle. Wilson was Protect Stalling with his Audino for 2 turns until the close combat finally hit and took out the Audino, which just left Primarina, which was able to outspeed Virizion and take it out, which just left Zapdos. And my only hope was to Brave Bird, hoping it would take out both of us, but take out Primarina's health first. But unfortunately, it lived again, and Wilson had won the tournament. I still can't be mad with second in the tournament, and I still have my overall rewards that I had to get. And what I ended up getting from this chest was 3 random shiny Pokemon, which was really good. This could be something amazing. Unfortunately though, I didn't get anything good, and Wilson was showing me his new Mega Ampharos. And for in the tournament, we decided Wilson earned a fusion key, and he ended up getting himself a Dragon Ninja, which might be the strongest fusion Pokemon out there. The Greninja and Dragapult together. I wanted to continue to work on this bingo card as I was really curious to see what would happen if I completed one of the lines. And the only thing I needed left now was just a Poochyena to complete the line. And thanks to Wilson's help, I was able to find a Poochyena and capture it. Now, let's see what I get for completing the bingo card. Okay, 5,000 Pokédollars and a Poison Z. Not the worst thing, but it's okay. For a little bingo card, it's not too bad. The next thing we had to do was Wilson got another rare lucky block through upgrades through the battle pass from a common all the way up to a rare. He ended up getting a Landorus luckily, which meant he couldn't use it, and I was so glad because if he had got a legendary Pokemon after that, I would have been fuming. I wanted to give myself that lucky block as well, so I did a little bit of grinding and I ended up working my way all the way up on the battle pass to get the lucky block. With this lucky block now obtained, let's see what I can get. Okay, it definitely could have been better, but I wasn't really expecting much. I just wanted to see what it was, to be honest. We've now got to figure out a way, though, how we can beat Wilson, because we have the next rival battle coming up. And we're also going to beat this insane-looking battle area. And we had no time to think, as the rival battle was happening right now. Now for another rival battle, and in this one, once again, Wilson definitely had the edge with his team. It was looking so much stronger that I needed the extra 50 days to build my team stronger than his. He started off with his Mega Ampharos, but I tried Underworld Awakening, which would increase my speed and attack by so much. But the Dazzling Gleam, I didn't know he had it. Quite effective, took me out in one shot. And that was the battle done from there, to be honest. Dragon Ninja took me out, and Wilson had won the battle. And for winning, he got 2 uncommon lucky blocks. But Wilson being a really good rival, he actually ended up giving me one to see what I would get. What a nice gesture from him. Unfortunately, I only got a shiny Ursaring, and Wilson ended up getting a shiny Ludicolo. If you guys enjoy these rival videos and want to see more of them on type only, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because me and Wilson are down to do more for you guys, but you guys need to let us know if you want to see them. I then decided I wanted my entire team to be level 100 for this next battle, and for all the gyms coming up. So that's just what I did. I spent the next few days down leveling my team all the way to level 100 so I could be ready for any battle. The Garchomps were so easy to take out at this point. But something that I wanted to get ready for the next few days was this bingo card, and I wanted to complete the entire thing so I would have nothing left on it. So I had 24 hours to do so. Before that though, I actually ended up finding an ultimate Salamence boss, which was a Mega, which meant I could actually Mega Evolve my Salamence if I defeated it. And what do you know, this thing didn't actually have a Dragon type move, so defeating it was really easy. And I ended up winning, which meant I could now Mega Evolve my Salamence. Me and Wilson both had a Mega Evolution Pokemon now. I decided to go back to the gyms, and I was actually able to take out the Psychic Gym. Finally, able to take it out, and then came back and took out the Ghost Gym. And after I defeated the Ghost Gym, I went to the next gym, which said it was a Water Gym. But...
Sorry, what?
That's definitely meant to be flying. I think it's just a glitch. But it says the Water Gym, but yeah, I defeated the Flying Gym, I guess it was meant to be. The final gym left was the Fire Gym. And this gym, once again, I took out on the first go and had all the badges obtained. So I decided to begin the hunt for this bingo card, and there were so many different Pokemon on here that I decided I'd go into Ultra Space to try and find the rarer ones to start off with, as those ones are going to be the tricky ones, and luckily getting into Ultra Space, I can find some quite rare Pokemon that weren't going to be easy to find in the overworld. Saying that, I ended up catching a Rattata on here, which isn't the rarest thing, but hey-ho. I did actually end up finding something that wasn't on the bingo card, but I was very happy to find. And that was a Paradox form Blastoise. This thing was the past form of Blastoise, called Slashing Shell. And even though this thing wasn't a Dragon type, it was still so cool to find. And I'd definitely be able to see if I could trade it off and maybe get a Paradox form of my own, or maybe even something else that's a Dragon type that I would need. I continued to find stuff in Ultra Space, but it ended up being I had to go back to the overworld to find the other Pokemon. I was sort of hoping, fingers crossed, that I'd find a Paradox form, but there was no chance I was getting a second one. I continued to search through the overworld and actually completed over half my bingo card in 2 hours, which was quite a few days ticked off for me. Now all that was really left was a lot of beach Pokemon and weather-dependent Pokemon like Goomy and also Lotad. So I'd have to keep my eye out for any weather changes and also on certain locations. I had some easier Pokemon like Hoppip and Rockruff, but for some reason I just couldn't find them. I did this little glitch as well where I did slash back from one area to another, as it would set the respawns between the two areas, so I could actually find double the amount of Pokemon in half the time. This is a good method for finding more Pokemon. While doing this method, I actually ended up getting myself the Duo I needed and a few other Pokemon here and there. But there were a few Pokemon that will say were haunting me about it because I just could not find them no matter how much I searched. This Lotad was one of the longest searches, and I still need to find a Goomy in the swamp when it was raining as well. These Pokemon were so annoying to find, I swear. I actually ended up finding this Chinchou and Lantern thanks to Wilson's help, but I ended up hitting the Lantern before the Chinchou, which was so annoying. I ended up taking out the Lantern and was able to actually get the Chinchou straight afterwards, which meant that's another one off the list. I ended up helping Wilson as well as he helped me with the location, and I went to this beach area as I think about 5 Pokemon on the list were on the beach, like Crabrawler, Shelder, loads of different Pokemon that I needed to capture. Unfortunately, Clauncher wasn't one of them though. But if you guys enjoy these sort of mini challenges within the video, like the bingo cards and also the tournaments, let me know in the comments. I'll try and fill the 100 days with more of these type of challenges. I then was finally able to find myself a Piplup, one of the hardest Pokemon to find as it is a starter Pokemon. And I actually ended up capturing the Piplup pretty quickly with it. Thanks to this random guy teleporting me to the swamp when it was raining and saying he had a Goomy there. Wilson came along to have a look as well. And then I headed to the beach where I caught Crabrawler, showed it everything I needed from the beach, which left me with not many Pokemon left to get. Somehow though, like I said, Hoppip was one of the last Pokemon to get. How did I leave Hoppip this late to get? Another one which took forever was Rockruff as well. I still had Sobble to get, but luckily I could find these 2 Pokemon quite close together. Scrub I ended up finding just outside of our base, which is a really good find as it's quite a rare Pokemon. And finally I had Rockruff, which just left me 1 Pokemon to get, that being the Sobble. Now, Sobble's really difficult as it hides in the rivers, and because it blends in with the water, it's so difficult to find. So I spent probably about 2 days waiting around this area, and I actually ended up finding the Sobble finally. Unfortunately though, me and Wilson had done a challenge for this, and the winner would get 2 uncommon lucky blocks, and Wilson completed his bingo card before me, which meant he would get the 2 uncommon lucky blocks. But for completing the bingo card, I got 20,000 Pokédollars and a Fusion Shard, which isn't too bad. Now, Wilson had his 2 uncommon lucky blocks, and the first one actually upgraded. I can't believe this guy. And on the second one, surprisingly, he didn't actually get a shiny, he just got a normal Florges. Anyways, let's see what legendary Pokemon Wilson's going to get from this. And, well...
Not another one?
This guy's luck is ridiculous. You know what? I'm not going to tell you what Wilson got until the very end. Then we're going to see what happens. I decided that I wanted to focus on the building as I can't match Wilson's luck and getting what he gets. So I wanted to make this place more at home for the dragons. I decided that the first thing I wanted to do was extend the waterfall out. As the old tale goes, a carp that climbs the waterfall becomes a dragon. So what I did was I decided to extend the whole waterfall out the entire mountain. This way we could have the entire mountain like a massive waterfall leading into 2 ponds, and it would look really cool in my opinion. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep the bamboo there, but I needed to create this second pond area. And I still wasn't too sure about the bamboo and everything, but we'll get to that. The first thing I needed to was actually fill this whole thing up with water, which took so long. I was so annoyed because of all the different water sources and everything. It was frustrating. But I ended up filling it up, and I didn't know if the bamboo was going to stick there. Let me know if you think with or without the bamboo. I decided to keep it in for now, but continue to extend the waterfall out to maximize it. And I think this looks pretty cool, and the carp's even climbing it right now. I guess it wants to become a Gyarados. Anyways, I still thought there was more I could do, so I started to add these water pillars in 2 of the corners of our battle arena. But if we have water pillars, we need to have the polar opposite in some lava pillars. This adds a little bit more functionality and makes the battle area look so much cooler in my opinion. I wanted to do fire, water above it, but I soon realized this wouldn't work and destroyed this little bit above it. After this, there was still something else I needed and I felt was missing. I'd end up building this whole thing, placing water down it, and then break it all to then replace. If you guys know what this is that I'm building from just this image, let me know in the comments. No cheating, don't skip the video, comment right now, pause it if you have to, comment what you think this is that I'm building. This is something for the dragons, to let all the dragons know that this is going to be their welcome area. If you're a dragon type, come by and you'll become one of ours. This is what we needed. We needed to let everyone on the server as well know that we are going to be the Dragon Champions. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well if you want us to become the true Dragon Champions. If you guys guessed that I was building a dragon symbol, give yourself a thumbs up on it and very well done. I think it's added so much more to the base and it's made it look so much cooler. I actually ended up getting myself into another tournament where in the first round I was able to win with a Deblade which had an EVO light. However, I lost in the second round, which was really upsetting as I had my Chansey left against this ghost type and I couldn't actually hit it. But on the positives, I was actually able to buy myself a Paradox form Charizard, which was called Burning Coat. This thing was a fire dragon type, which meant I could use it. So I went to the EV trainer and look how cool this thing looks. Oh my god, insane. And with this EV trained, you know what's next? Level it all the way to level 100. And with this now to level 100, my team was almost complete and ready for the final battle. Before that, we had one more rival battle, and yes, Wilson got a shiny Reshiram from his lucky block. What a lucky guy that is. Oh, I end up taking out his Dragon Ninja thanks to Garinitar, but not without it doing so much damage to me with Draconic Kunai, which is a priority move, which is like Water Shuriken. It's so crazy. Luckily though, my Mega Salamence was able to take out his Ampharos, and I was actually able to win the rival battle. And for winning, I got a rare lucky block, which meant I could get a legendary dragon Pokemon. However, I didn't get it. I got an upgrade to an epic lucky block. That's amazing. And in this epic lucky block, I got a Latios, a dragon type shiny Pokemon. Oh, I'm so happy with that. That is such a good pull. I know some people won't be happy with that, but it's such a cool dragon type. And it's got an amazing shiny. You guys know the drill now as well. EV train it and then level it up to level 100 and add it to the team. This time, my team is so close to being finished, and it might even be finished. But me and Wilson did a little bit of mess around, and we're taking pictures of these Pokemon and putting them on top of our heads. And a Alolan Executor. This thing looks so amazing. I actually love the look of this. I might keep him there forever. Anyways, I decided to do some free battles against other people as I wanted to test my team against random trainers. And this first guy I took on only had 4 Pokemon, but he did have this Metagross, and I was able to take out the Metagross with Earthquake. Then came out a little bit weaker Pokemon as I took out his Kadabra in 1 hit. And after the Kadabra came out Meowstic, which was a little bit harder. But again, me being a dark type meant this battle was quite easy, and I was able to take it out with the Dragon Claws. And then his final Pokemon came out, that being a shiny Hydreigon, but I was able to take it out with Dragon Claw once again. I then had another fight where I was able to beat this guy's Hawlucha, his Pupitar. There was a little bit of a glitch going in the battle, but I was actually able to take him out again and able to beat his team after beating his Vespiquen, shiny Ambipom, and some of these people had some really cool teams, keep in mind. And when they fully evolve their Pokemon, their teams are actually going to be super strong. As you can see, I had a shiny Charizard, which was so cool. Unfortunately, my Mega Salamence was just too much for him. I say that as his shiny Charizard actually takes me out. I can't lie, I still forgot about this fight. But yeah, I was able to take him out thanks to that Excalibur at the end, using Ice Shard. Then came up this other guy who wanted a 4v4 battle, and his team didn't seem too good to start off with, as he had a Mortar Hydreigon, which I was able to take out with 1 Dragon Pulse. But then his team got a little bit stranger, as he had this custom textured Crosma Lunala thing. And I wasn't too sure, but apparently this thing was a Psychic Fairy type, and the Dragon Pulse didn't work on it. He then brought out the new starter Pokemon, Meowstic, but I was able to take it out with the Ice Shards. But then this Lunala came back out, and I had no idea what to do. I didn't know what type it was at the time or anything. It was just using these crazy moves like Heat Wave and stuff. I didn't know what was happening. But I end up losing the battle because of how strong his team was, even with this Ursaring. Ursaring ended up taking out my Salamence. I had no clue what was happening in this battle, but I did lose it, unfortunately. I also went to have a look at the Pokemon, and it looks so cool. And look at the texture. This is amazing. You can only get these custom textures on the Smash MC server as well. Now, on these last few days, I was still waiting for something. I was still waiting for the strongest Dragon-type Pokemon, my favorite Pokemon, to appear. And the only way I thought of doing this was to make the Dragon area even more at home. So I decided for my last build, I would create the original Dragon Pokemon. The first Dragon Pokemon in the Pokedex. The first one people would catch in Red and Blue in the original Generation 1 games. I was going to create a pixel art of Dratini. With Dratini almost built, would Rayquaza show itself to me? Would Rayquaza identify me as a dragon champion? Dratini, the symbol, was it enough? Not yet. The arena wasn't done. The arena was not split between the two sides, between myself and Wilson. Wilson to have the blue flames, myself the red flames. Was this enough? Would it show itself to me? Could I become the true dragon champion? Could I defeat Wilson on the last battle? I went for some final leveling, some final preparation to decide what my final team was going to be. I still wasn't sure I made the right decisions, but I had to be sure that the decisions I made were mine and no one else's. Would Rayquaza show itself? I waited days on days until day 97 when finally Rayquaza appeared and I was able to capture it. I flew on top of Salamence as soon as I could. As soon as I realized it had actually spawned in. I didn't see it on that start bit. I threw the Pokemon down, trying to hit it, but it was flying way too fast. I wasn't trying to actually hit it, but I was able to hit the Rayquaza, and I was able to capture it. I thought I could be able to catch it and sync up within a Master Ball, but no, I had to go for a Master Ball to end up with. I tried the Sultra Ball, but no. Rayquaza was now mine, and I could even Mega Evolve Rayquaza. But not only that, Wilson had gone out and caught Kyurem, which meant he now had Kyurem White, and I had Mega Rayquaza. The original fusion Pokemon versus the strongest Pokemon. Who would prevail? Myself or Wilson? I lost in the tournament. I couldn't lose here again. I had to go EV train Rayquaza and finally level him to 100. Please, Rayquaza, guide me to victory. Let the final battle be an epic one.
All right then. Here I go.
Wilson, my friend, this has been a journey, but only one of us can claim the title, Dragon Champion. This battle to decide it all. I started off with Latios, but it went down to Hydreigon, but not before getting Tailwind off, which meant Garenitar could take out not only Hydreigon, but also Dragalge. It then got taken out by Depth Sphere because of the speed of this thing. Luckily though, Hisuian Goodra took out Depth Sphere, not before falling to Baxcalibur though. And I made the mistake of switching to Baxcalibur and going for the Ice Shard instead of the Glaive Rush. This meant I had to sack off Salamence, and Baxcalibur was able to take it out. But this loss was harsh. His Kyurem then came out to take out Baxcalibur, which meant there was only one thing.
Borrowed might. I summoned the Rayquaza!
The Mega Evolution was glitched for this battle. I got the arrows to take out Kyurem, but it didn't matter. Dragon Ninja was able to take out Rayquaza with Draconic Kunai, and I bowed my head to the rightful Dragon Champion, the ruler of Dragon Pokemon.